good after months of speculation. Is official. The NBA announced their new media rights deal with Disney, NBC, and with Amazon. This is an 11-year deal that will start for the 2025 to 2026 NBA season. And this is a deal that is worth $77 billion. Also includes the WNBA. The WNBA are going to be getting, I got it right here. With WNBA, their deal is going to be also 11-year deal as well. Theirs is going to help, bring their money up for each player to get paid. I think their floor now is going to be like, 250,000 or something, which is still very, very low for those very talented ladies, but they've got a new deal as well as part of this with, their their WNBA finals will be airing on on fucking Amazon. I'm trying to find where the fucking shit was at. But anyway, for WNBA fans, they're gonna be on the WNBA finals be airing on on NBC/Peacock in 2026, 2030, and 2034. It'll be on Disney, ESPN, ABC 2027, 2029, 2020, 31, 2030, 33, and 2035. Those sound like so far from now, but they're really not. And then Amazon Prime be 2028, 2032, and 2036, man. I hate when I'm like trying to scroll for something and then I had it right there and now I can't find them. Here we go. So the WNBA's, theirs is worth $2.2 billion over the 11 years. So definitely a lot less than what the NBA is. As far as the NBA split goes, Disney will be paying $2.6 billion, NBC will be paying $2.5 billion, Amazon Prime will be paying $1.8 billion. Disney, which is ESPN, ABC, will be getting 80 regular season games. They will be getting 18 playoff games for the first two rounds. They'll be getting the conference finals 10 of the 11 years of the deal. And of course, they'll be getting the NBA finals to the entirety to the deal like they have right now. NBC will be having 100 regular season games. They're going to be specializing on Monday and Tuesdays. And of course, on Sundays, when NFL season's over, they're going to be having basketball night in America. They've also announced that Mike Tirico is going to be the head commentator for that. Shout out to a Italian legend, allegedly, and Mike Tirico. They're going to be having 28 games in the first two rounds of the playoffs, and they will get the conference final 6 of the 11 years of the deal. Amazon Prime gets a smaller package. They'll have 66 regular season games, and they will have a third of the games in the first and second rounds of the NBA playoffs, and they will have a conference final in 6 of the 11 years as well. And they will have the full home of the in-season tournament will be on Amazon Prime. The All-Star game will be on NBC. The draft and the draft lottery summer league will continue to stay on ESPN, and the draft summer league will also be on Amazon Prime as a little bit. And reading all that means that Warner is asked out. And there will be no more Inside the NBA. Next year will be their final season. Charles Barkley actually issued a statement today on his Instagram, and it said, clearly the NBA has wanted to break up with us from the beginning. I'm not so sure TNT ever had a chance. TNT matched the money, but the league knows Amazon and these tech companies are the only ones willing to pay for the rights when they double in the future. The NBA doesn't want to piss them off. It's a sad day when owners and commissioners, quote, choose money over the fans. It just sucks. I just want to thank everyone who's been a turner the last 24 years. They're our best people and the most talented, and they deserve better. I want to thank the NBA and its fans, the best fans of sports. We're going to give you everything we have next season. I say it like this. I've been saying that I've been disappointed about Inside the NBA not coming back because it's one of the best shows ever. I think it's the best studio sports show ever. And for those of you out there, they don't give real basketball analysis. You're doing it wrong. If you're watching anything outside of watching your uncles talk shit about the game, you're doing it wrong. As far as this, the NBC, I'm not NBC, with Turner has nobody to blame but the Warner CEO, David Zaslav, who was a terrible CEO. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing with Max. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing with HBO, and he definitely doesn't know what he's doing with the NBA. You can't go out there and say we don't need the NBA. There's only so many times you can play King of Queens and everybody loves Raymond Reruns. There's only so many times you can play Avengers Endgame and Black Panther. There's only so many times you can watch Walker, Texas Rangers. You need the NBA, and now this is something that is going to be a massive swing as we're seeing a lot of these legacy shows going away. It was announced that in 2025 Around the Horn's probably going to be going away. So outside of shows like PTI, which is still on TV, all these legacy sports shows are starting to slowly go away. And I know a lot of the perception about this, or not perception, but outcry has been negative because a lot of people don't want to accept it. Like I've been saying for like 3 years at this point, that the future of live sports is in streaming. Even if you look at that NBC deal, half of those games are going to be on Peacock. And whether we can sit up here and say we don't want to pay the $5 or whatever, you're going to pay for live sports. I know, of course, there's going to be some who not, but the majority are. We saw with the NFL, and I think it's going to be the same thing with the NBA. I don't think it helps the actual game. NBA's problem is still in the court. I think it's a shitty product right now. But I just think it's something where we're seeing the future, and this is something where you're not going to turn to Amazon. I mean, they Turner announced that they're gonna sue because they claimed the NBA wasn't faithful to their contract. But then the NBA responded with, none of Warner's claims are have any merit to them, and our lawyers will answer this. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think it's going to be a settlement, and we're going to go on. Amazon is probably the biggest company out there, along with Apple. This is going to happen, and that just kind of is what it is. The bright side is you're going to be best of inside the NBA next year. And Charles Barkley said he was going to retire during the finals, but then he said today on Dan Patrick that he has been listening to offers from ESPN, Amazon, all the guys, all the companies that are involved in this new deal. I want to go to Bang Wamsgam first because I know you're interested in this as well. Dante, do I sound any louder? Am
Yeah,
I
you
good?
back. You back.
Okay.
You back.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to you, Bang, on this one. What do you think about this and this new era of NBA and the end of NBA on Turner?
First of all, for the end of NBA, inside the NBA, the potential end, it sucks because this is the best studio show ever in any sport. But all things must come to an end. And it was probably more likely than not that in the next few years that it was going to end anyway. This is an 11-year deal, and we wasn't going to get 11 more seasons of this version of Inside the NBA. So it is what it is on that one. As far as the decision to move from Warner, you're right. This is on the CEO's fault. The CEO made it very clear a couple of years ago that they didn't need the NBA. But the NBA said, well, if you don't need us, then we're just going to go on over here. That's their fault, not the NBA's fault. I think the NBA would have loved to stayed with Warner, but Warner made it clear of the opposite. So it is what it is on that. Now, as far as the platforms and stuff, look, this was inevitable in the first place. I wasn't hearing nobody. Well, I ain't gonna say I wasn't hearing. I was hearing the same things when a couple of TV deals ago, when you start to see them move away from regional, and you start to see them bring cable. Like back in the day, I used to watch the game on Channel 9 or WGN. You don't have that no more. I'm shut up, Orlando, because I know he gonna say something when I say this. But I am
You
older.
remember when the NBA was on tape? Look, you really
You
gonna
say,
say that?
no, because I don't remember that. But I am old enough to remember when the games was on Fox 32. Like I remember when them games was on Fox 32, and then they went to Channel 9. I remember Sports Channel. I remember all of these changes of. I guess you could say that I was around enough TV deals from after the tape delay shit, because I really started watching the NBA in '88. So that was on CBS then. Then it went to NBC. So change is inevitable, and now we have streaming platforms, and the way that these streaming platforms are putting money into the product, because the Amazon games might be terrible, but the product, it looks great. So what you expected was going to happen. It was inevitable. And the next TV deal, we're going to see even something new, different, whatever's going on. I'm probably more shocked or surprised that Apple didn't say, nah, let me spend some of this Apple money to get it, to be honest.
Well, them
Um,
niggas trying to cut costs.
yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But I found that out. I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, look, I'm happy that the NBA on NBC is back. I'm very excited about that and the product, and to see how they're gonna do it with this new version around Ball Rock.
Dante, you got anything on this or no?
Uh I mean, change is inevitable, bro. Money talks, bullshit walks. These days, you got to follow the money, and unfortunately, this goes more to the political corporate side. But they've allowed these big VCs and tech firms to get all this money, and now they're gonna buy up everything. So, as much as y'all hate it, it ain't gonna stop. You see it the same when teams are being sold. They're being sold to the highest bidder. These people have enough fuck off money so where they can just pay double what the team has been valued by Forbes, and it's nothing. Like Ballmer paid $5 billion for the Clippers, and they were not worth $5 billion.
In
Like
cash.
yeah, they have that type of money to where they can just say, fuck it, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do. And so when you have a league that's driven by revenue, like all of our sports leagues are, of course they're going to tap in with them. Like, is it unfortunate to see games starting to go to cable and streaming when we know some people don't have those things? Yeah, it does. But I mean, at the same time, this is the way that our country is headed. The same way with, cashless payments everywhere you go and shit like that. It's just, certain people who haven't adapted to the times, or some who can't adapt to the times, are going to be left out. But it's only going to keep going and get worse. Wait till everybody wearing headsets and shit. Then it's really going to be crazy.
That paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna